What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is Heart DFS, and today we have another NBA slates breakdown on Draftkings for the 4-game playoff slate today. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment. Do appreciate all the support. Recently, we are on our way to 500 subscribers. That's the goal by the end of the playoffs for the NBA. If you're new to the channel, I do make NBA prize pick videos as well, and a bunch of content for Draftkings. So, make sure to follow me on Twitter at HeartDFS. Putting up my prize pick plays. We're on a heater. The past 2 days, we've gone 4 to 5. Or we went 5 out of 7 2 days ago, and then 4 to 5 yesterday. Plus from some other freebies I mentioned in my video. So we've been doing really well on prize picks. So I hope you guys have been doing well as well. Doing good as well. Sorry, it's a little early. Still trying to wake up, but these games start, pretty soon. So I wanted to get this out there. Atlanta, Miami, the first game on this slate starts pretty early at 12. This is going to be, I'm not sure, I just looked at the spread. Bovada didn't have one, but I would assume it's probably at least 8 or 9 point spread, if not more. Clint Capella is out. That's not like groundbreaking news, but it is pretty big news when it comes to the Hawks. They're already kind of short-handed when it comes to playing any of these good teams, but Trae Young at the top, 9-8. Looks great. It's not the best matchup versus Miami, but he's one of those guys who's going to have to do it all for them to even have a chance in the series. So if you think this game is going to stay close, you're going to probably want to play Trae at 9-8. Played 40 minutes against Cleveland. Did terrible in the first half, but then played really well in the second. Got you 57 fantasy points, 38 real-life points. I really like Trae in the spot. I don't know if I'm going to get there just because I really like the Brooklyn and Boston, Chicago and Milwaukee guys. But Trae looks great at 9-8. Clint Capella is out. So that means guys like, where is he? Okongwu, who already got priced up to 5,100. Will probably play at least 30 minutes. Have to guard Bam. Not the best matchup for him, but decent spot for a guy who's 5,100. They ran, where is he? Gallinari, about 40 minutes, 41. I expect them to, run huge minutes for him as well. John Collins is going to try to play. I'm not sure the minutes limit on him, if there will be one. Probably will be. But just in terms of this, we're going to have to wait on the news to see if he plays. If he does, I would assume at least 20 minutes. I don't know if that's playable at 5,300. And especially in the spot against Miami for his first game back in a while. But if he does play close to like 30, I would definitely have interest in John Collins. It probably wouldn't take much of the minutes away from anyone else. It would just kind of help them go a little bit smaller ball. Maybe John shifts to the 5, and then, Gallinari is the 4, and then Okongwu still comes off the bench, or maybe it's just Okongwu, Collins, Gallo, Hunter, Herter, and then Trae. So we'll just have to see. Anyway, but I still like pretty much everyone on this side, especially Bogdan at 5,600 coming off the bench. Only 29 minutes against Cleveland, which, it doesn't look as good, but Trae pretty much went off the second half. They really didn't need anyone else to come off and score, but he still had a great game, 35 fantasy points. I'd say he's my favorite play on this side, and then Trae, and then one of the wings. We just got to wait on that news for John Collins to see if he's in or not. Miami side, we have Jimmy at the top, 8-4. Always like him. Really like him in the spot against Atlanta. Let's see. So Atlanta is averaging almost 38 fantasy points per game, which is not the best, 8,400, but it's a great spot against Atlanta, who plays no defense. Going to be a fast-paced game. I'd say my favorite interest lies with either Bam or Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero has obviously been playing really well off the bench, but I think it's just a great spot. His price is a little bit up there at 6,900, but when it comes to playing the secondary guys on the Hawks, Tyler Hero having all the usage, really like him in the spot. You're going to want at least, I think, one piece from this game, if not two, to kind of differentiate. I can't even talk. To get different from the field is basically what I'm trying to say. Rough morning. But I think my favorite play on the side is Tyler Hero. I don't mind if you guys get to anyone else, like Jimmy, Bam, Kyle Lowry even. You guys can definitely take a shot on them. But I think my favorite play is just Tyler Hero on this side. Brooklyn side, Durant, Irving, going to be super popular. Same with Tatum and Brown. I mean, I don't really have a I guess KD is the safer play out of all those stars. And then I'd say Tatum, but I really don't mind you guys to any of the four. I think you at least got to play one, if not two of them. Or if you want to get different, play the guys from Chicago, Milwaukee. But all the ownership's going to go to Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. So, rightfully so. So, great guys at the top look great. Bruce Brown. Price came up 6,500. Had an amazing game last game, and the game before that. But I don't mind him in this spot. I think people are going to chase just because the past few games have been huge for him. The Celtics are not going to go zone, which who did they play? It's not going to show because he didn't play, but Cleveland did a weird zone where Bruce Brown was able to be in the middle all by himself, so he's able to pass it off, get a shot. I still like him for his cutting ability, but I don't think he's going to have the ability to get as many assists as he did, maybe a few less. He also got you 3 steals, which is huge. You can't really expect that every time. He's only getting about 1 per game. I don't mind it 6,500. I'd just rather get to Kyrie and KD on the side. And then maybe take a shot on a guy like Drummond. He only played 19 minutes, still got you 26.5 fantasy points. Price came down a tad, but Claxton was the one that really benefited last game. 29 minutes, 13, 9, and 5. Don't think you can expect 5 blocks again. He's only averaging about 1 a game. So I think I'd still rather get to Drummond, but there is that risk of Drummond losing minutes for whatever reason and not playing the whole game. Seth Curry, 34 minutes, 4 fantasy points. I played him. I mean, he's a shooter, as I said. If he's hitting his shots, he's pretty much not going to get you there unless he's getting those peripherals. And then if he's not hitting his shots, 0-4. 4 fantasy points. Watch him get like 30, 35 today. But I'd say secondary play, look to Seth. And then one of these two at the top, that really does it for me. Boston side, Tatum, 10K. Jaylen Brown, 9-1. Rather get the Tatum. Just has more of a, better ceiling. A little bit better of a floor. Al Horford, not for me. Marcus Smart would be a secondary play that you could take a shot on. He's going to play a ton of minutes. Pritchard, okay play, I guess, at 4,100 if you want to look for value. I just think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be purely dominated by the stars. You got Kyrie and KD, and then Tatum or Brown. I guess Marcus Smart and Pritchard are viable, but I don't really think you'd have to get to any of these guys. On the Chicago-Milwaukee side, we have DeRozan in the top, 8,500. Really like him in the spot. I really like the Bulls in the spot against Milwaukee. I know it's like an 11.5 point spread favored to Milwaukee, but it's the playoffs. The Bulls are going to run their guys into the ground trying to win this game. And I just think it's too good of a spot to pass up. I don't mind Vooch as well. It's just they haven't done well against Milwaukee, and he's been really bad lately. And when he's the third star, all of the usage goes to Zach and DeRozan, and usually Vooch doesn't have a good game. He'll have a solid one, but he doesn't really have the high of a ceiling that you want for a guy who's about 8K. So I'd rather just get to a guy like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, who have proven they were pretty good. Pat Williams, okay, played 4,700. The whole team's back. I don't mind Caruso at 4,200. I know he really hasn't. I think he had 1 game, 35.5 fantasy points. Other than that, he really hasn't done much. And so I don't think a lot of people are going to be on him. It's the playoffs. They're going to give him as much run as he can. I know he's a little bit injured, but really like him in the spot against the Bucks just for his defensive ability, the steals. And if he's hitting a shot, it's just, a little cherry on the top. 4,200. I think he's a great value play for today, even though the Bucks will probably blow out the Bulls by 40 in the first quarter, and then these guys won't get run. But I don't think you can expect that. Hopefully it'll be a close game, close series, and these guys will do well. That really does it for me on this side. It's pretty much just Caruso, the 2 Bulls stars, and then maybe Vooch. Milwaukee side, love Giannis. Man just goes off against the Bulls. But, of course, the few times I played him against the Bulls, He got 0 points first quarter, 5 in the first half, and only 18 for the game, I think, before he fouled out. Yeah, so I don't know why he doesn't like going against the Bulls and not being aggressive, but we really like Giannis. It's going to be super popular today as well. Only 11K, so you can definitely do the 2-star route of the Giannis and then one of the stars from the Brooklyn-Boston game. I don't think there's enough value to make 3 unless you want to do just 2 lineups, but I think just more of 1 star and filling, a nice place around it is the way to go. Middleton looks good at 8,100. Drew Holiday, I'd say, is my second favorite play on the side at 7,900. Sometimes he won't be as aggressive as you want, but should play a ton of minutes. A little bit cheaper than Middleton, and I think it's a little bit safer of a floor for Holiday, so I really like him. Brook Lopez, you can always take a shot on him. He's done a little bit better recently. The minutes are not always there, but he'll be guarding Vooch, which, should be easy for him. Vooch is not very fast, so I think it's a decent spot for Brook Lopez. No one on this team, maybe you could take a shot on a guy like Pat Connaughton. Hope he's hitting a shot because he will get you some boards and assists, maybe a steal or 2, but if he's not hitting a shot, it's going to be a guy who's going to tank your lineup. But 3,500 from him is not a bad spot to get some value. Like, he should play at least 20 minutes today. 15 to 20, maybe a little bit more if he's hitting his threes. But at 3,500 is not a bad thing to get some value from this game with Pat Connaughton. Last game of the night. I know this review has been a little brutal today, just because I'm super tired. Long day yesterday, but we got Pelicans, Phoenix, another game that's like 11-point spread. CJ's come down to 8,300. It's almost getting to that point where it's too cheap to play him. I know this is not the best matchup for the Pelicans against the Suns, but CJ at 8,300 is way too cheap. Same with Brandon Ingram, 7,800. He's been great this year. Really like him in this spot. J-Val, 7,300 against DeAndre Ayton. These guys are all just too cheap. If I had to go, Zion is questionable. That's interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't think he's going to play at all, but something to keep an eye on. Herb Jones is another guy you can go look to for value. Is seeing at least 30 minutes, if not more. Not going to shoot the ball a ton. If he's not hitting his threes, he's really not going to get you there scoring-wise, but he is good at getting you some blocks, some steals, rebounds, and assists, so I don't mind him at 4,600. Not the best play. Larry Nance, for some reason, as I kind of mentioned in the video, if they go small, maybe he'll get some more run. He had like 10, 9, and 5 in 9 minutes and then finished with 14, 16, and 4. Don't think you can expect that again, but maybe if they want to go small again without J-Val, he'll get some run, but I don't think you can expect that. Alvarado, 15 to 20 minute mark, he's flown around. I'd rather get to Caruso over Alvarado. And I think I still prefer Brandon Ingram, but I really like both of these guys in this spot. On the Phoenix side, Booker, love him at 9K. Chris Paul at 7,600 is just way too cheap for a guy who's going to get a huge amount of run unless this game blows out. But once again, you can't expect that. Really like DeAndre Ayton 7K as well. Should be a good game environment for him. A lot of shots to be able to rebound. Bridges, no. Campaign, no. McGee, no. Johnson, back. Jay Crowder, a guy who will probably play at least 30 minutes in the spot. Hasn't been shooting the ball well at all recently, but really good in steals, getting rebounds, assists, a block. So I think he's a good value play for today just to throw in there at 4,200 for a guy who's probably going to get 30 minutes, if not more, to be able to guard Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. So really like Jay Crowder in this spot. Otherwise, that really does it for me. It's kind of just Jay Crowder and then one of the star players for the Phoenix side. This is kind of the route I'm looking to go today, using Caruso, Crowder, and Connaughton as my value, and then, plugging and playing some of these star players. I want to get different by kind of fading this Brooklyn Boston game, or will I, play them? I'm not sure yet. We still have a little bit of time, but just want to get this out there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. Do appreciate all the support. Sorry for the rough video for today, and we'll have an NBA Prize Pick video out later today. Thank you.